What's up, guys? Brian Danoff here, and the Yankees have acquired Giancarlo Stanton. This happened early this morning, but I'm still telling myself that over and over again because I just don't believe it. This trade, first of all, it the way social media works now, we were kept up to date with every single part of the negotiations all night. And it really appears that it happened all kind of last night because we found out that the package the Giants had offered the Marlins and the Cardinals had offered the Marlins. The Marlins agreed to it, but Stanton didn't want to go. He didn't want to play for the Giants or the Cardinals. So the Marlins were really pretty much left with two real options, and that was the Los Angeles Dodgers or the Yankees. And the Dodgers just apparently were keeping tabs on Stanton, but probably just didn't want to take on his contract that much. And the Yankees, meanwhile, with a lot of room on their payroll and a couple bad contracts to shed, just kind of figured, why not? Let's see what we could do. And sure enough, they really got a steal because yes, I wouldn't call it a steal because they are going to pay Stanton 90% of what he's owed if he doesn't opt out. The Yankees are only getting $30 million back from the Marlins. Otherwise, they're paying the rest of the $300 million he's owed through 2028, I think, when he'll be 38. Now, I do think he'll opt out unless he has really some awful seasons in New York the next couple of years, but I don't see that happening. He's one of the best players in the game, the best power hitter, hands down, and of course the reigning NL MVP. I'll talk more about Stanton himself in a little bit, but really, this was kind of I don't think the Yankees had any intention of acquiring or even seriously pursuing Stanton this offseason. This really all just kind of fell into their laps, and when Derek Jeter and the Marlins ownership really didn't have much leverage left and didn't have too many other teams to turn to, it became kind of really Jeter's only option, and for the Yankees it was really a match made in heaven, and there's a lot of people who are claiming that the MLB should investigate the trade or it could be collusion or Jeter bought the Marlins just to give the Yankees Stanton. Hey, conspiracy theories are fun, but I don't think that's the case because again, Jeter tried to trade Stanton to the Giants, to the Cardinals. If Jeter had it his way, Stanton would have been traded weeks ago and would have already been, in my opinion, the Giants was where everyone thought he was going to go and where Jeter probably thought was the best fit, but Stanton didn't want to play for them. He wanted to play for a real bona fide winner because, let's face it, yes, the Giants have some talent, they have some minor leaguers, but it was no sure thing that even with Stanton and even with Shohei Ohtani, had they acquired him too, I didn't see much in the Giants next season besides if they had Stanton and Ohtani, but obviously they get neither. The Yankees lose out on Ohtani, but they end up getting Stanton, which is just insane to think about. Because again, Aaron Boone became the Yankees manager a couple days ago, and I said in my last video that if the Yankees don't make a single move for the rest of the offseason, I still have them for 90-95 wins and winning the division and being a serious World Series contender. And now you add quite literally the equivalent of another Aaron Judge to the lineup. What you have it's just a terrifying team. And I saw a tweet I almost said I saw a tweet on Facebook. No, I saw a tweet on Twitter where there's some people who are arguing, well, the Yankees are going to strike out a lot and teams are going to pitch around Stanton and Judge a lot. I'm sorry, that's a weak argument because you walk Judge, you face Gary Sanchez. You walk Stanton, you face Didi Gregorius. You want to walk Greg Bird? It just goes on and on. You're going to be facing a great hitter either way, and you're going to have to give someone pitches to hit. So it's really just pick your poison. That's really what the opposing pitchers are going to have to decide next season is who am I going to give this home run up to? At least when they play in Yankee Stadium, because obviously it's a bandbox, and everyone in that lineup has the potential to hit 20 home runs next year, at least. Obviously, Judge and Stanton and Sanchez and Bird should hit more, but it's really just remarkable. Again, it's hard to remember, but we are still in the year 2017. Last year, the Yankees were near the bottom of the AL East for most of the season. Were trotting out 40-year-old A-Rod, 37-year-old Mark Teixeira, 40-year-old Carlos Beltran. It was an ugly season. It was an ugly start to the season. An ugly first half. And they traded Miller, they traded Chapman, they traded Beltran. They got all these prospects, and you know, I thought they could be good this season, but I didn't think they'd go all the way to within one game of the World Series. And again, I was like, yeah, they'll be really good in 2018. But really good is selling them short. You know, I think I saw Vegas now has them at 6-1 to win the World Series. And look, so much can happen. You know, I'm trying to restrain myself because I've been this excited before about the moves the Yankees have made. Obviously not. This is the biggest trade the Yankees have made since acquiring Alex Rodriguez, hands down. This is the biggest acquisition they've made. But, you know, I mean, I felt great about the 2012 Yankees. I thought the 2014 Yankees were going to win the division. You know, a lot can happen. The Yankees are going to have a lot of luck and have to have a really very healthy season next year to do the things everyone expects them to do. You know, Greg Bird hasn't played more than 50 games in a season. Giancarlo Stanton himself, this was his first full season, 2017. Or not his first full season, but he's missed a lot of games in the previous 5-6 seasons. Nothing major. I think he's averaged about 120 games played the last 5 years, but that's still, you know, I would hate, you know, if the Yankees lose Stanton for 40 games next year, that will not be good. Judge had surgery on his shoulder, you know. Luis Severino just pitched through 200 innings. You know, you have to wonder how he's going to respond health-wise. If they bring back CC Sabathia, you hope his knee holds up. You know, there's definitely a lot to worry about, you know, if we get into the nitty-gritty and the specifics. But obviously, you can't do that now because it is the winter. I'm literally staring out the window, and it is snowing very hard here in Boston. You know, if only it was raining, because then I could just call that the tears of Red Sox fans. But yeah, no, obviously on paper, the way it looks now, if everything goes according to plan, how aren't the Yankees your 2018 World Series pick? I really don't know how you can reasonably argue anyone else in the American League. I mean, yeah, the Houston Astros, sure, they could do it again. Yep, a full season of Justin Verlander. Obviously, they'll have everyone else coming back too, Correa, Springer, Alex Bregman, of course, they're going to be great too, and should match up well with them. And, you know, I would love to see a rematch ALCS because obviously, even though the Yankees lost this one, 2017 ALCS was still amazing baseball, an amazing postseason series. And there is that rivalry kind of growing, and we'll probably see it play out during the regular season too, between the Yankees and Astros. But getting on to Stanton, you know, obviously I've admired him from afar for a long time. His power is really unmatched. I mean, really, it's close. I love Aaron Judge, but man, no, Stanton is the premier power hitter in the game, and Judge is definitely the second most prolific power hitter, and they're now both hitting in the middle of the Yankees lineup. You know, I'm pretty interested to see what the Yankees do from here on out, honestly, because they now have pretty much 6 outfielders. They have Judge, they have Stanton, they have Hicks, they have Gardner, they have Ellsbury, and realistically they have Clint Frazier, who is ready to at least have some role in the major leagues. And I was so sure he'd be in this trade, and to find out that he wasn't, I mean, wow. So he's still around. The Yankees have all their top prospects. They only really lost Starlin Castro from the major league roster, who, you know, was a good second baseman, but pales in comparison to the player the Yankees are getting for him. And yeah, so it's going to be interesting. You know, I can't imagine a scenario where Ellsbury is still on the roster come spring training. So it'll be interesting to see what the Yankees do if they can't find a taker for him, if they'll just flat out release him or something. Maybe they'll look to trade Hicks or Frazier or both for starting pitching. They obviously, you know, they definitely will need an extra starting pitcher. they really only have five. If including Sabathia, and that's a big if he comes back, they only have five like real starters. I mean, yeah, Adam Warren's around, can give you a spot start. They're going to bring Chad Green to spring training as a starter, but he should be a reliever. The Yankees need another starter, and I think they can get a really good one if they build a package around Frazier or Hicks, and a lot of Yankees fans are. It's funny the evolution of the Yankees fan. These same fans used to beg Cashman to trade the whole farm system for the latest greatest superstar, but now there were fans last night on Twitter I was noticing who were going to be furious if Cashman gave up Gleyber Torres or Clint Frazier for Stanton. But this is the time you do that. Obviously, you don't do that in 2015 or in 2016, because the Yankees weren't going to win a World Series that year no matter what. The Yankees were so far away from where they are now. And where they are now is that they have the leverage, they have the high ground. If you're a Star Wars fan, they are a juggernaut. And this is the time you do part with some prospects to get that big piece to get you over the top. And I mean, I think they already are with Stanton, but realistically, with Stanton in the outfield and Judge in the outfield for hopefully the next decade, where's Frazier going to play? Where's Frazier or Hicks going to play? It's going to be one of them that has to leave, and Ellsbury's obviously gone. So there's just a lot to think about, and I think the Yankees will probably look to address a lot of these questions at the winter meetings, which starts this week. It starts this week, and Ohtani's already signed, and Stanton obviously is now a Yankee. So this was a very quiet offseason that picked up very quickly, and I'm just still kind of stunned and very excited, and it won't really feel real until I'm at a game next season and I see Stanton and Judge go back to back with 500-foot home runs. It's something special to watch, and as a Yankees fan I've been a Yankees fan since 2006. That was the first season I really watched, and that lineup was incredible with the likes of Jeter, A-Rod, Johnny Damon, Gary Sheffield, Hideki Matsui, Jason Giambi, and then in 2009, a couple years later, with Teixeira added to that, and I thought I had seen. There was a while when I thought I'd seen the best Yankees baseball would have to offer, but I think that is absolutely false, and we are in for something really special if all goes according to plan. But if it does, I mean, the sky is the limit. And remember how young these guys are. Everyone on this team is so young and under team control generally, and I'm sure the Yankees will look to give guys like Sanchez and Gregorius extensions. Same with Judge. And this Yankees team now that you see on paper may be the Yankees team you see for the next 6-7 years. This same exact lineup, bearing a couple moves. So that's pretty much it, guys. I'm very excited. Thanks for listening. It's going to be a long winter now, waiting for everyone to come to spring training. But obviously the Yankees still have some moves to make, and hopefully they'll get even better. But, yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Let me know what you guys think about Giancarlo Stanton becoming a New York Yankee. It sounds so crazy, but so good. Thanks for watching. Talk to you guys soon.